I mean, it's not even happening until, like, the end of the stream, Sean. We'll see. So as you can see, Ganon's forces were in the middle of invading Hyrule Castle when the wish went through. Hello, Mind Blast. Well, time to cut off the stream, guys. So, for as much as I have been negative about this game, this is officially the moment in which Wind Waker really sold me when I finally sat down and played it. Like, I actually distinctly remember when I first played this game, and it was basically like, yeah, okay. You know, it's a Zelda game. It wasn't anything special, but I was enjoying myself. Then I got to this part of the game, and it was like, oh. Alright, Link, I need you to listen for a moment. The item you seek is hidden somewhere in the castle. To find it, you have to enter into the basement. It's been blocked by the threshold. Do the puzzle. Right. I forgot about this part. Remember this puzzle? Yeah, the game was like, no. You've been going through the prologue, buddy. No, I haven't, Hushy Love. This might be the most unique block puzzle we've ever had in the franchise, by the way. Yeah, it's probably worth noting, and I'll talk more about this as the cutscenes elucidate on it, but the king at this point is kind of a bad guy. Or completely a bad guy, depending on how you want to say that. He has been desperately searching for forever for anyone to even come close to dealing with this situation. And he is desperate to restore Hyrule. Not to help the world or to get rid of the curse or to stop you. No. To restore Hyrule. He even flat out states later on that he himself has the same problem Ganondorf has, that he was unwilling to let go, basically. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, that was the big theme of the work. Okay, I have seen that one, Hushy Love, but that's because I am a regular viewer of Awkward Zombie, because Awkward Zombie's awesome. Yeah, there is only a very small amount of difference between the Ganondorf and the King's plans. I agree, Gum Gum. Death to culture! Why was she raised that way, though? So, the king has been manipulating and using us this entire time, and will continue to do so. And, you'll notice he hasn't told us jack at this point. He still hasn't actually tried to explain what he's doing or why, or tried to convince us to join his side. No. All he's saying is, go do this. Now go do this. Now go do this. Now, granted, king, you know, so you could argue that he's used to giving orders and those orders being followed, but it gets across the point. The difference in tone is pretty substantial there. Excellent. To perceive such a puzzle and decipher it is no small feat. Now take the sword that lies before you. It is the Master Sword! Hi, Fee. Hang on. She looks familiar. And so does she. And him. I just wanted to show these off. I know a few people have never even noticed these back here. There's the Ganon from Ocarina, of course. Soraya. Poor Soraya. Rauru, and of course, Ruto. This is when the connections to Ocarina became a lot more overt. And as I mentioned, this was something that was kind of new. Like, Zelda games didn't do direct sequels. Not like this. So this kind of moved past simply being a reference to being, oh, huh. Is the king evil? No. But I would hesitate to call him good. In fact, I wouldn't call him good at all. It's probably worth noting that the king basically fails in all his plans. Love this song. The king fails in all his plans because he is stuck in his old... stuck in the old way of thinking, basically. He keeps trying the same thing over and over again. He doesn't adapt, he doesn't change. Ganondorf basically wins this game. He's the one who adapts. He's the one who tries to do things differently. Interesting to think about. Poor Fee. I mean, I think that's true in a lot of settings, Star Wars. So, all of a sudden there's a lot of fairly deadly enemies up here. But the game just gave us a weapon upgrade, and that's the point here. In short, this is the game basically being like, yeah, go nuts, kid. Here's the Master Sword. These enemies, which we've only fought at like 2 at a time at the most before now, we could just rip through with the Master Sword, because it does such more damage. A robotic spirit, Huthor, that was crafted in order to, you know, defeat evil. Sorry, I do need a lot of rupees, so... At this point, the whole... This is why I decided not to give a plus to the whole you can pick up other people's weapons things. Because basically, there's not a lot of reason to do so once you get the Master Sword. However, I do firmly believe that there was some ideas for what would become Breath of the Wild here. Yes, Mind Blast. I've decided to start calling it the Hyper Beam moment. So I finally came up with a terminology for it. We're just wrecking phase here. Pretty sure it's the Hyper Beam. I could look it up. Anyways, I don't actually need to kill all these guys, so we're out! Okay, apparently I do need to kill all these guys. Never mind. My bad. I should show something off. Hey, I got a bomb. I got a bomb! I love that. Oh god, he's got a bomb! No. Must have missed one. Oh, there he is. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh my gosh. Notice they'll actually go try to recover their weapons if they drop them, by the way. Nice little touch. I guess, Gum Gum. Seems like a weird approach to me, but then again, it's not like I understand. I mean, I don't even understand Huthor. And he actually makes sense. I mean, he doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Okay, is that everyone? Nope. Okay. I wanted for that to happen. Oh yeah, sorry. I actually had a lore thing to talk about here. You'll notice there's nobody here except for the minions of Ganon. I point that out because this is my final point of evidence for why I don't think any of the... I can't believe I could do that. Why I don't think anyone was actually trapped down below when the seal happened. I mean, all these guys were in mid-battle, and yet there's no one here they're battling. The idea being that whoever they were battling got out. It's worth noting, however, the game itself is incredibly vague about exactly how people escaped the flood. I do have a theory on that. So, at the end of the game, we see both Tetra and Link escape the flood. And I think, honestly, the method by which they did so is the method how the people were able to do so back in the day. Literally being magically carried up in bubbles, because, you know, because I got nothing else. I really don't. Like, the idea of them actually scrabbling up just makes no sense. There's no way you could climb a mountain fast enough to avoid that kind of a flood. Right? Now, something got them topside. Yeah. I'm going to stab you, Alex. Just want you to know that. So you can kind of see the barrier up there. In fact, hang on. Let me see if I can go. There we go. There you go. You can kind of see the barrier up there. It's hard to make out, but you can sort of see the edges of it. Hey, look. See? Now do barrier skip. No. But there's the barrier. The other barrier. This is an unrelated barrier. That's just... So, I'm sorry, I should clarify. When I was talking about the barrier, I meant the one that's keeping the ocean out, not that barrier. Ah, barrier skip. How many years did people look into that one? Before someone finally figured out a way to get through there. And then the HD version, and then someone figured out how to do it on the HD version. Holy crap. one time in Warsong Valley, or Warsong Gulch, Uthor, I was fighting a rogue. This is on my warrior. And at the time, I happened to be arms spec. This was in vanilla. Now, I don't know if you understand the significance of that, but he was clearly used to basically one-shotting his opponent. You know, build up to eviscerate, and then kill with eviscerate. It wasn't working out very well for him. And it was actually legitimately funny, just being like, nope, nope. I could have killed him, but I was like, nope, nope. And he's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. And I kid you not, at a certain point, he literally gave up and started running away from me. Then I killed him. Oh, I should test something here. Yep, okay. Just making sure. So... back topside. Now that we've got the Master Sword, the most legendary, incredible weapon, surely this will enable us to defeat Ganondorf. It's time to go to the final dungeon, guys. Which is that way. Oh, hang on. Oh, tornado, tornado. Actually, one. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Am I remembering this wrong? Damn. Oh well. Oh well. My bad. Pro tip, never do what I'm doing right now. Never fly into a cyclone like that. So this unlocks fast travel. I think. Heck of an arm you got there. And what an eye! No one's been able to spot me in there before now. You obviously have mastery of the air, and now we've established you're quite the Wind Waker. Let's see if you can handle this. Hang on. I don't remember it, and I'm an idiot. Help! Help! Okay, starts at bottom. Okay, okay. God dang it. Hi, Hyperspeed. We're about to go to the second Forsaken Fortress run to end the first half of the game. So now, you can teleport. Woo. Now, if memory serves... Yep, so there's all the teleport spots. There's a couple of important ones, but we'll actually save for some of those for later. We want to go up here for right now. So. What? You... Wow. I thought we could do this now. Huh. Okay. I have been corrected. Apparently we need to hit the freedom point first. Go figure. I guess that makes sense. I call it the freedom point for a reason. I'm astonished. She even had a line of dialogue like, no, you need to go find the one who matters to you. Yes, I know of her. Now go find her. Where am I? So in the original GameCube version, if you got hit on here, they'd knock you out of the ship. That got really, really old. Like, I can't properly describe how irritating it is that basically everything would knock you off the ship. You have to swim back on the ship. But as you can see, they fixed that. Oh yeah, so there's a quest to carry the water to all these sprouts. There is a lot of side quests. We're not doing that one, by the way. As a further addendum... If I'm not mistaken, that water, the one you could kill the boss with, apparently I couldn't have killed the boss with it because it only lasts for 20 minutes, after which it turns into regular water. And I surely took longer than 20 minutes to do that dungeon. Yeah, he is probably also waiting on the freedom point, Hushy. That's okay. Let's go beat Ganondorf and end the game for reals. Totalies. Oh yeah, so this is when this starts happening. We've had a few enemies in the overworld, but we haven't really started seeing actual obstacles in the ocean yet. This is when they officially start showing up. I say that and only one showed up, but whatever. Ah, it's possible, Hushy. Ganon has likely been made aware of our little incursion already. Nah. But you have the Master Sword. The sword shall shine in the darkness, casting back evil. With it in your hands, none can keep you from rescuing your sister. Do not be afraid. Do my bidding, and you'll totally get what you want. He is manipulating the crap out of us here. It's almost funny, really. So this is actually a full dungeon, believe it or not. Hey, Phantom Ganon. I will open the doors for you. I have a theory, by the way, that that was Ganondorf testing the strength of the Master Sword. And now we have the Skull Hammer. You might ask, what's the Skull Hammer? It's if and but. That's the Skull Hammer. Also, nene. Nene, nene, nene. So this is a Wii U remake of a GameCube game, to answer your question, Glorious Barbarian. And thank you very, very much, if and but. As always, appreciate the sub, sir. Which one was Legacy? Like, if it's on the list, then it's one we figured out how to get working. I remember that. I know we didn't get Borg working, because I tried on that one for a while. Neat, neat. Neat. Look at the plus side, if and but. The likelihood of actually getting a remake of such an old game at this point is basically non-existent, since Star Trek video games have basically stopped being a thing. Remember these guys? Okay, that's actually funny. I know, but I'm sorry. It bugs the crap out of me. Yeah, STO is the Star Trek game. The only one. Of the modern era. I mean, obviously, there's plenty of decent Star Trek games in the past, but... Ooh. So Huthor asks a very good question, which I'm also going to pass on to you guys. You get to make one Star Trek game. So what type of game do you make? I have to think about that Yeah, I mean, Starfleet Academy, you know, just to answer it, but I'm not answering Luthor. But yeah, we had Starfleet... Ah! We had Starfleet Academy, we had the... That's cute. Judgment Rights, 25th anniversary, the TNG version. There was a DS9 one, but the DS9 one kind of sucked. I'm trying to remember. I know there were other decent Star Trek games back in the day. Star Trek Klingon, that was fun. I always forget it, but it does deserve to be remembered. The bridge simulator one, not the new one, the old one. Armada, I think that's Armada, and yeah, Elite Force, which was a surprisingly awesome Voyager game of all things. I noticed several people are saying 4X games, which is admittedly my very first thought as well. Like, if I had the license, making a Star Trek 4X game might be the very top of my list. I'd have to at least think about it. See, the problem is, and Alex actually kind of got there first, one of the other things I find to be an absolutely fascinating idea is basically FTL. Like, maybe not literally FTL, but certainly leaning heavily in that direction. The idea would be... Oh, God, I'm trying to think how to explain it, because I actually can't think of another game that does this. You're playing a ship, but rather than like STO, where it's all like buttons and you're steering, it's more like you are managing the different departments of the ship simultaneously, and you can customize the ship and decide, you know, which people go where, and they can change your cooldown rates, or which maneuvers they know, or how quickly they can detect such and such, or bonuses against certain types of enemies, and you know, just all sorts of stuff like that, right? Customization. And you're managing the crew, basically, but also the ship. Yeah, you kind of get where I'm going with this. And I can't think of a game that actually does that. There's a few games that come close. They're similar, but don't actually hit the same approach that I'm going for. I could probably go for that. I think I will. I'm going to be crazy. Okay, the wind is going completely the wrong direction to go crazy. We cannot go crazy. New plan. I also just noticed my monometer. Basically, yes, Papanix. It's our only real defense against bots and trolls, which were an issue until we turned on follower mode. We have had no problem since we turned on follower mode. Funny how that works out. What direction am I facing? West. Yeah, I mean, Uthor's evil. He's the worstest. No. Yeah, I have heard about people having issues with bots. And I've actually had people ask, like, you know, what do I do about this? And it's like, just ignore them and report them. You don't even have to report them, because they're probably going to delete that account in a day. But we have not had people actually showing up being like, "Rah," which is, you know, nice. That one, right? Yes, that one. So... Well, we used to have pretty bad issues with bots and trolls, hyperspeed. It's actually one of the... It's actually the main reason why I started promoting mods on my channel, is because certain times I just couldn't ban people quickly enough. Like, it got pretty bad for a while there. I'm not even that big, it's just, you know, harassment. Or, you know, trolls. Or bots, sorry, I don't mean trolls. Harassment would be trolls. Yeah, it's not a big barrier, exactly, Alex. It's just, well, the general idea is a troll probably doesn't care enough to stick around for 10 minutes. Which is what we have it set at, by the way. Very, very low. Actually, no, that sounds kind of awesome to me, Gum Gum, but the problem is it also sounds incredibly infeasible. Basically, I can't imagine how that military even begins to function, unless they all just shut up and follow orders once combat actually starts. I know, right, Bergman? Oh, that was close. Well, we made it. I'm not sure how she left. My first thought is the ghost, the Poe. But I'll have to give you that answer once I've finished going through this. Obviously, Ganondorf is at the top of the list. Hey, guys. Excellent guards. Sorry. Anyways, Huthor, to fully codify my answer, I'd want my ship management slash captaincy sim thing. That's my first pick. Second pick would be straight up 4X. Third pick would be RTS. Fourth pick would be Grand Strategy. So that's my answers to you. Now, Hyperspeed asks, if you make a Zelda Freaks game, where would you set the game and what story would you tell? Well, obviously, the story I would tell would be I'm sorry. Notice we were a lot more cautious the second time through. Like, a lot more cautious. No, nothing's on the Switch, Hugirl, which is really irritating. Big brother, you're okay. I was worried. She can literally fit through the bars, dude. Just... Hi. So it won't open that easily. Where the hell did you come from? There you go, acting before you think, as usual. I swear, do you even realize we had to draw the monster bird off for you? I was about to come flying in here after you again. That sword. Where did you get that? Are you... Is it even possible? How could it be? Well, never mind about that. Let's take care of these girls. I'm sure their fathers back in town will pay a handsome reward. I know, right, Girl? We do have a Nintendo Direct in about 2 hours, which will not announce any new Zelda games on the Switch. So that's something to not look forward to. worried about your sister? Don't be. I promise I'll deliver her safely back to your little island. Normally, I'd expect a huge reward for something like this, but this time, it's my treat. Listen, Arrow, your brother has some important things to care... Oh my god. Your brother has some things to take care of. Big, important, grown-up things. He'll be back soon, so you just wait nice and quiet until he returns, okay? But big brother... Ah, don't worry, Arrow. I got you. Take this one for me. But she's fine. Do as you're told. Damn it, Brigwin. Big brother! Bye, kiddo. I got a boss fight. Against Ace Attorney 2. Thank you very, very much, Brigwin. As always, much appreciated. Thank you. So, for the first time, we actually have 2 solid phases to a boss fight. Oh, I'm with you, Alex. So, phase 1. The tower. Watch, I'm gonna screw this up. Yep, knew it. Let's give it a second. There we go. I shouldn't even try to roll. It's so hard to control the rolls on this one. For the same going forward problem I've mentioned a few times. You are on a bit of a timer here. You are literally racing. And if you go too slow, this will go badly. Oh, bull crap. All of the bull crap. Fine, not through. I'm not even sure how to progress at this point. Hang on. Other than just waiting. Jesus Christ. Fun fact, I've never actually fallen from that height before. I've fallen before, but never that far up. I was way up. That was literal body blocking, if you didn't catch that. Die! Thank you very much, Venters. Much appreciated and obliged, sir. If you give me a moment, I will jot that down. Speaking of which, I've been thinking about baking the Mega Man X's for IDCs into bundles, kind of like I'm probably going to do with the Mega Man Classics. So like Mega Man X1, 2, and 3, instead of just Mega Man X1. You know what I mean? I'm not sure exactly how I'd bracket them. probably X1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. And then stop. If you want me to play 7, you gotta pay for that special. But that's something I've been thinking about for a while. So... that's not exactly something I just came up with off the fly just now. I actually enjoy X4, but, I mean, it is... well, it is what it is. Whoops. Yeah, X4 has some very good elements to it. And then it has the other elements to it. X4 would be a good example of what I usually refer to as a very good, very flawed game. Where is he? Where is he? Look, this is not a super hard boss. And I only know that because of speedruns. Yes, this is another RNG boss. For speedruns, it usually involves just sitting around and waiting for quite a while until he becomes vulnerable. Hence the idea to take a selfie. Thank you very much, Rienku. Much obliged the sub, sir. Thank you very much. And if you give me a moment, I will jot that down for Star Trek Legacy. I'm not sure, but I believe you, Venters. Unless you're lying to me. Star Trek Legacy. So noted. There we go. Okay. Alright, time to go beat Ganon. I still haven't answered the Zelda game question. Hey, it's the Big Dipper. Right there, see? Anyways. God, I don't know. Still pondering that one. I mean, I guess the question would be, what kind of Zelda game am I playing? I'm making? Is it a traditional Zelda game or like a branching Zelda game? Because that changes my answers drastically. Mario-styled Zelda, by the way, Ventures. Because that's just Mario Odyssey at that point. So, he's actually been on camera a couple times, but this is the first time we really get to see Ganondorf. It's been a while, boy. You've done well to sneak into my fortress and wriggle your way all the way up here. I suppose the least I can do is commend you for your reckless courage. My name is Ganondorf. I am the master of the Forsaken Fortress. By the way, boy, when you drew that sword of yours out of its pedestal, did you by chance notice how all the monsters frozen in time there suddenly began stirring again? Do you understand precisely what that means? I highly doubt you do. Foolish child. While that sword is indeed the blade of evil's bane, at the same time it has long played another role. You see, it's a sort of key. A most wretched little key that has kept the seal on me and my magic intact. By withdrawing the blade, you've broken that seal. You cannot defeat me with the blade that does not sparkle with the power to repel evil. What you hold is useless. Go back to the world below. Tell that to the pathetic fools who made this blade. Its power is gone. Its edges are dull. What? Link, get up! Stop, let me go! You pathetic little sea rat. My Triforce of Power is resonating. At long last, I have found you, Princess Zelda. What are you talking about? I don't know any Zelda. Feigning ignorance will gain you nothing. Tell me, if you are not Zelda, then why do you have this fragment of the Triforce? Huh? What the... What? I love that just confused face. Oh, hi, Valu. Valu? I admittedly like this scene a lot, if it's not obvious. It's nice to see other people not being useless, in a way that doesn't, you know, make us cutscene incompetent. Yep, Ganondorf's totes dead. It's alright, Link. She has merely lost consciousness. Your sister escaped... Oh, by the way, notice Kamali has his wings. Your sister escaped with the Forsaken Fortress with the pirates. You can relax. She's safe now. Lord Valu, you arrived not a moment too soon. We are deeply grateful. Still, it is too soon for us to relax. Ganon cannot be destroyed by such simple means as wrath and fire. I am aware of this. Yet I thought our first priority should be to separate these two from Ganon's grasp. I see. And I agree. Very well then, we are counting on you. The last of that, so we're just gonna close that now. Link! I will explain things later. Now we must return to the world beneath the sea. You know, we could have avoided all of this if you'd explained anything. As I said, the king's great folly is that he was doing the same thing. It was Ganondorf who was learning and changing. You'll notice he doesn't come after us with magic or power or anything. He just slugs us. That's a recurring trend, by the way. Link, you alright? What is this place? And Ganondorf, what happened to him? Link, what are you doing? You must come to the room where you got the Master Sword. Who's using that stone? Who are you? Link and I are the only ones who can speak through this stone. How dare you use what's not yours? Your name is Tetra, correct? You must come with Link to see me at once. Fine. Don't you sound important. Well, we're on our way. Just hold your horses, wherever you are. Link, what are you waiting for? You heard the stone. You're supposed to show me to get where that voice is. Yeah, okay. So now the first of 3 escort quests. I'm not kidding. But I want to show off something real quick. Check this out. Notice anything? He's not animated at all. And every other time if you swing at him, he flinches. He's not flinching now. I only point this out because not only is it a nice detail, but it showcases that his spirit can only be in one place at a time. He can't stretch himself out. Tetra. So he's actually not in the boat right now. Oh my god, Tetra, really? Okay, you know what? Let's just see if she can figure it out. Hey, she figured it out. Yay. I'm just gonna leave you here, Tetra. Bye. No, wait. Are you him? The one who's speaking through my stone without my permission? Answer me! The stone is an enhanced version of the Gossip Stones. You remember those. Long spoken of in legends of the Hyrulean royal family. I am the one who made it. You made it? The royal family's Gossip Stone? I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. Have neither of you heard the tales? Tales of the kingdom spoken of in the legend of the great hero, the place where the power of the gods lie hidden? This place, where the two of you now stand, is my kingdom. This is Hyrule. And I am its king, Daphne's Nahansen Hyrule. Link, do you not recognize my voice? Indeed, I am the one who guided you here. I am the king of Red Lions. There was no need for me to reveal my true identity to you so long as that blade, the Master Sword, could defeat Ganon. Because being honest with someone and open and communicative is just nonsense. But now, both of you must listen to me, now that I've already proven you can't trust me. Once, long ago, the land of Hyrule was turned into a world of shadows by Ganon, who sought to obtain the power of the gods for his own evil ends. My power alone could not stop the fiend, and our only choice was to leave the fate of our kingdom in the hand of the gods. When the gods heard our pleas, they chose to seal away not only Ganon, but Hyrule itself. And so with a torrential downpour of rain from the heavens, our kingdom was buried beneath the waves, forgotten at the bottom of the ocean. Yet all was not lost, for the gods knew that to seal the people away with the kingdom would be to grant Ganon's wish for destruction. So before sealing the kingdom, the gods chose those who would build a new country and commanded them to take refuge on the mountaintops. Those people were your ancestors. Hundreds of years have passed since then. So long as Ganondorf was not revived, Hyrule would remain below, never waking from its slumber. Tetra, come to me. This necklace you wear is part of a sacred treasure called the Triforce of Wisdom, which has been passed down for many ages within the royal family of Hyrule. Your mother passed this down to you and instructed you to treasure it, to guard it with your life. Am I not correct? The Triforce of Wisdom is none other than the sacred power of the gods, that we have kept from Ganon's clutches for so many long years. The gods placed upon your ancestors the task of protecting it from evil's grasp. You too must abide by the laws of the past. You must do what the past tells you to do. It's tradition! And so the time has come for me to teach you the fate which you were born, the very reason that you live. Listen to him! Listen to him! It's part of the curse, Ventures. The same reason he was stuck in the boat, basically. So, then she turns into this. Notice even her skin color changes, by the way. Keep that in mind. I want to talk about that in a minute. Wisdom, lower left. Power, wisdom, courage. My fate? You are the true heir of the royal family of Hyrule, the last link in the bloodline. You are Princess Zelda, except she kind of isn't. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Zelda? I'm a princess? You are confused, aren't you? I suppose this is to be expected. Link, I am terribly sorry you've been caught up in these events. But now that it's known that Tetra is indeed Princess Zelda, Ganon will be searching frantically for this child in an attempt to get the power of the gods she possesses. He will not rest until he has found her. If he succeeds, my ancient kingdom under the sea will be turned into a land of shadow and despair, and so will the world you know above the waves. But the first priority is on Hyrule, not your world. You know, a world that has no one in it. Link, I need you to lend me your strength in this dark hour. I have a suspicion about what has caused the Master Sword to lose its power. I need you to come back to me to the lands of the water and return to the power to repel evil to the Master Sword. Zelda, you get to stay down here with no one. It's far too dangerous for you to join us in this task. We can't possibly have a Zelda game with like a secondary character who helps you out in combat. That is absolute insanity, and it's definitely not what a lot of us are hoping for from Breath of the Wild 2, because that would be really cool. Fortunately, the Sacred Chamber is not yet known to Ganon. Notice he is still calling him Ganon, by the way, whereas Ganondorf himself is self-identifying as Ganondorf. Just continuing to push that point. It is my wish that you wait here in hiding until we return. I think we must go. You can just... So remember, he's kind of dead. He's not dead, but he is effectively a spirit at this point. Link. Hey, what's up, Tetra? I don't know how to say this. Everything that's happened to you and your poor sister, it's all been my fault. I'm so sorry. That's cool. Now you stay here and don't do anything until the end of the game. And so Tetra stops being a character, basically. I've heard people complain about that for years. Even in jokes. Just, Tetra stops being a character. And in fact, we'll only have 2 scenes. I'm not counting the ending. So counting the ending, 3 scenes from this point until the end of the game. One in which she's kidnapped, spoiler alert. One in which she helps us in the final battle, which is actually pretty awesome. And then the ending. That's it. So I said I'd talk about a few things, because there's actually a lot to unpack there. First of all, that's not Zelda. Let's just start with that. That is Tetra, who happens to be the current reincarnation of Hylia. Now, you can kind of see why you would call that a Zelda, why she could be qualified as a Zelda, but she is not named Zelda. She is basically having the identity of Zelda being pushed upon her. Now, that's all fact. I'm going to enter speculation for just a moment. I've always believed quietly that the reason that she literally changes appearance is kind of similar to something, if you were paying attention, that I mentioned with regards to the sages back in Twilight Princess, that the station of office overrides the identity of the individual. You remember that? The idea here being that the Hylian station, the fact that she is the current incarnation of the goddess, is overriding her identity as Tetra, thus literally forcing her to look like Zelda. And again, even to the point of literally changing her skin color. Now, this is even more impactful in my opinion, because obviously this gets across the idea of the whole clinging to the past and, you know, the chains of tradition, blah, blah, blah. But it's more interesting to me, especially because by the end of the game, she all of Hyrule and everything about Hyrule is locked away. The Triforce goes away, Ganon goes away, Hyrule goes away. And Tetra then reverts to her normal appearance at that point in time. So, now Magic says, where is Zelda now? There basically is no Zelda now. There will be a Zelda in the future, but there won't be here. And that one will only be called Zelda for reasons I don't actually fully understand. Basically, Tetra's granddaughter will be named Zelda in the game Spirit Tracks, which happens after this game, obviously. Now, how did she know about the Master Sword? Personally, that one's pretty easy to explain for me, because I think that her parents, just like their parents and their parents, had passed down vague stories about certain things, the Master Sword being one of the big ones. So she would notice the Master Sword and be like, hey, what? Honestly, she probably didn't think we were the chosen hero or the whatever. I think she was actually legitimately confused for a second that we might be the hero of time, the one from Ocarina. Because that's what the Master Sword had been associated with within this particular timeline. And, notice he's animated again. The fact that the Master Sword lost its power to repel evil suggests to me something happened to the sages who infused the blade with the god's power. The sages should be in Hyrule, in the Wind Temple to the north, and the Earth Temple to the south, praying to the gods. You must head for these two temples and see what happened to the sages. Unfortunately, Ganon seems to have erected a magical barrier down here in Hyrule, blocking our path to the temples. But each temple has another entrance above the mountaintops. So we return to the surface immediately. This is the freedom point, by the way. Once we get our second quest, no pun intended, where our goal is to go and repower the Master Sword, this is the freedom point. Now, first of all, thank you very much, Jordan T. Hurt. Much appreciate and obliged, sir, as ever and as always. Thank you. Second of all, if you give me a moment, I will put that towards KOTOR. Link, do you know the legend of the Hero of Time? No, I didn't play that game like 4 days ago. Once long ago he defeated Ganon, and brought peace to the kingdom of Hyrule. A piece of Triforce was given to the Hero of Time, and he kept it safe, much as Zelda kept hers. That sacred piece is known as the Triforce of Courage. When the Hero of Time was called to embark on another journey, that's one way to put it, that's some historical revisionism right there, and left the land of Hyrule, he was separated from the elements that made him a hero. It is said that at that time, the Triforce of Courage was split into 8 shards and hidden throughout the land. Even I do not know where they rest, but I know this much. They lie hidden throughout the Great Sea. Maybe you have crossed paths with someone who knows something about things that lie hidden in the depths of the sea. See you around, Dakota? Well, fret not if you can think of no one. Though maybe you could come upon the knowledge by asking around in a place where people gather. So, that's our second quest. We have to do 2 dungeons and we have to get 8 Triforce pieces. Now, back in the GameCube version, this sucked. This required a lot of rupees and a lot of padding. And it was deliberate, knowing padding. This was an entire section to pad the game out to make it longer because they had to cut 2 full dungeons from the runtime. They have, I have been told, substantially fixed that in this version. Now, again, I've never played the HD version, so we're going to find out as we go through this exactly how that works out. So, negative to story for the Tetra thing. I'm sorry to do it, but I mean, it is one of the biggest flaws of this game's story in general. In my opinion. Might even be the biggest flaw of the story of this game. So, I mean, you can ask, Magister, by all means. If I'm ever not answering you, it's because I'm in the middle of talking about something. Like, it bugged me during a dungeon. I got lots to talk about during a dungeon. Okay, so hang on. Now I gotta scroll up, because Gum Gum said something in the middle of that cutscene. But really quick, a plus for internal continuity and a plus for external continuity. To explain that briefly, the game is quite self-consistent. Almost all of Wind Waker connects with itself very well. And there's a lot of decent little things. I actually plan to show off at least one of those really quick here. It just really adds to the feeling that this is a world we're walking through. It's basically a form of Lindblom effect. The external continuity is how clearly and solidly this game connects to Ocarina of Time. Whereas Twilight Princess has very vague and ill-defined connections that actually served as a negative for me because of how frickin' vague they were and badly done they were. This game is the exact opposite. The direct and solid connections between this game and Ocarina of Time massively increased my enjoyment of this game. Shrug. You guys know me. I love good continuity. I love seeing direct consequence. I love seeing... I know this sounds horrible, but I love seeing how messed up the world got because of Ocarina of Time and because of the actions of that game. And so seeing that consequence really elevated the story for me. That just sounds like that is... How does that even operate, Gum Gum? Yeah, Ganondorf alone. Ganondorf's going to be at least a positive. He might actually be too. I really like this Ganondorf. And I want to explain that briefly, because I've heard some people say that this Ganondorf is whitewashed, that he has made less evil of a character. I don't know if I agree with that. Well, he certainly is made to be more understandable, while he has characterization added to him. I don't think I could say with legitimacy that he is less villainous. I mean, he's less horrible, he's less malicious. He actually flat out states that he is unwilling to, you know, kill Link and kill Tetra at the end of the game, and there's a pretty good chance he actually meant that. But there's so much more to him, it adds to his flavor as a character. Instead of being... it's more like... Now, after having finally understood the value and virtues of both courage and wisdom, I can understand planning my thing out, and I will be able to reach out and do this, and the reason why was because of this thing, but I was pushed into it by this other thing, and blah, 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 blah. It's just layers to it. By the way, this is just freaky. So, you remember the other great fairies we've seen? You see the doll she's holding on to? In her right hand? You see that? This is the really creepy Great Fairy. I am the queen of the fairy world. What is the matter? Does that not surprise you, child? I like you. So I shall give you the power to the bow you wield. So this gives us the fire arrows or the ice arrows? I forget which. Oh, both. Okay. There you go. Yay. Fire and ice arrows. No, no. Fee is the sword, shiny waifu. That we have in our back right now. Ice arrows can freeze the hottest flames. Fire arrows can melt the coldest ice. The fairies in this fountain will ease your weariness. Use them as you need to. Child, I must tell you, you're just my type. Ignore how she's literally a puppet, by the way. Like, if you pay attention to her animations, she literally animates as if there are strings on her. Yeah. Anyways, with that horror out of the way, Let's do this. Yeah, Dragon Roost. But now we have access to teleport to a fairy fountain. The problem is we only have one bottle right now. And I actually don't remember where to get the other bottles in this game. So, yay. I know where to get one, but I don't have nearly enough money for that, although I'm working on that right now, actually. Speaking of which, let's switch over here. Yeah, Daphne's, he doesn't qualify as an adult anymore. So there's a little bit of a help on that front, but we still need, what, 400 rupees at this point just to buy a bottle? I know there's other rupees here, but I don't remember where they are. I always remember that one, because that one's really obvious. Listen, man, you're not one of the native islanders, are you? No? Yeah, I could go find Beetle. See if I can get some money off of him. It's a letter for Link. Postal due. 201 rupees. No. I don't remember which one that is, but I'm trying to make money and I'll lose it. Hi, Myron. And thank you very, very much, Myron. Much obliged as ever, sir. God, 2 years. It's been a good 2 years, my friend. Well, I think it has been. I guess I should say it's been a good 19 months. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Point being, where do you want to put that? Okay. Rupees, rupees, rupees. Well, I do have a walkthrough up here. Specifically for getting rupees. Oh yeah, by the way, well, this is just completely off topic, but while I was looking up a walkthrough for Wind Waker, I saw an ad for maple bacon donut recipe. I'm tempted to try it. You got it, Myron. The FFIDC, it shall be. Bow, bow, bow. Let's see here. Money, money. Next Lord Herbs. Maple. Bacon donuts. Okay, so... that's 50 rupees. I don't know if that's worth it. That's 100 rupees. Where the hell is that? Hang on. Does it mean up? Where the heck is it talking about? It's got to be over there, so I need to go up. Okay. Oh god, it's Linkinski! Alright, guys. Nobody say a sound. I don't want Linkinski to notice that I'm here. Or to admit that he really liked the Half-Life Pseudo Lorerun, which is great because I actually got a lot of negative feedback about that one, so it's really nice to know that people liked it. I thought it was a good lore run. It just wasn't a great lore run. It was one of my lower quality ones, I think. And, you know, It's one of the only modern lore runs I feel bad about. Like, most of the other ones I feel were pretty decent. Neverwinter Nights? Yeah, that was pretty good. Modern Warfare? Yep, that was good. Elder Scrolls? Yeah, no, that was actually a really good one, despite everything. But Half-Life was just kind of, Didn't help that I kept getting lost in a game I've played like 30 times. Either way, thank you very much, Linkensky. Much appreciate, sir. If you happen to know where you want to put that, yada yada yada, let me know. Shugamagoo, as they say. Medley. Hey. Oh, Link, you're okay. You know, Prince Kamali's been asking all about your adventures, Link. Well, the adventure of Link isn't for like a few centuries at this point. I can rest easy now that I've seen you safe and sound with my own eyes. Prince Kamali's turned into a fine young adult, hasn't he? See you around, Fuzzy Duck. Don't worry, we'll probably talk about it tomorrow, because I'm sure it'll keep coming up. Recently, he's begun doing things on his own, without my guidance. Every conversation still ends up centered on you, Link. Watching Prince Kamali grow up fills me with pride, but makes me a little sad as well. I wonder if this is how a mother feels. Oh, let's just listen to me go on. How weird I must sound. Hee hee. Romance interest, which is actually funny, because she's literally not. Although, this is going to sound strange, but we don't know who this Link ends up with. We know he ends up with someone, and that it's not Tetra. Because Tetra goes on to marry someone else and start the royal family line of New Hyrule. And Link does marry and have children, because his grandchild is the Link in Spirit's Tracks. But for some reason, the two don't marry each other, because Link in Spirit Tracks is not part of the royal line. He's just one of the apprentices of the train track company or whatever. So who the heck did each of these end up with? It's just weird that they did that in that way. I guess they decided they couldn't have a Link who was already a member of the royal family for some reason. I don't know. Whatever. I better continue practicing so I can be useful around here too. Performing music is an important duty of an attendant. Yeah, well, we'll see you again when we do the dungeon. Oh, geez, yeah. Wait, do you mean the first Kingdom Hearts lore run or the second one, Myron? As much as I hate to specify. We've had two. Ah! Fine. Oh, God. Oh, God. There we go. Okay. We're okay. We're okay. Really some magic. Well, thank you. Do I need to be even further up? Well, I could probably make that if the wind's going the right way. So what direction is that? I don't think I'm gonna make it. Oh, thanks. Thanks for that insight there. Well. So now we need to go this direction, which is north. Yeah, the FFPR lore run is probably my best overall lore run. Well, the WoW lore run was certainly kind of, you know, the Magnus Opum, so to speak. There's simply too many flaws that happened at the time that I couldn't really do anything about. Nope. Thought I might make it. But, oh well. Best part is... Oh, never mind. Let's see, best part is I think I'm gonna die, because I don't think there's shore near here, but we're okay. What do you guys think? What's my best lore run? Or I suppose your favorite lore run, to put it in different terminology. Like I said, I'd probably put the FFPR at the top of the list. With the WoW one being right below it. As much as I do think I screwed up the WoW Lorerun, I'm still pretty happy with how it turned out. Now, when we do the Five Nights at Freddy's Lorerun, we're going to do nothing but quote MatPat the entire time. It'll be awesome. Left or right? Appropriate music. Zero Hunter. Thank you very much, Zero Hunter. Much obliged as ever, sir. Thank you. And I've jotted that down towards Crash Bandicoot. So the first person said left. But yes, Blue Alex is correct. I had several issues with the WoW Lorerun. It was happening at a very horrible point in my life. So, you know, that was part of the problem. In fact, part of the reason I went ahead and did it was in order to distract myself from how messed up things were at the time. I'm telling you, Bragwin, nothing but MatPat references the whole time. I also had to pause the WoW Lorerun in the middle of it because of RL issues. Like, I literally couldn't stream for a bit there, so that was fun. Yeah, I wasn't doing great, Mind Blast. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even bring it up. It's just, I don't even like to talk about it for obvious reasons. It was pretty bad. Tetris Lorerun, 5 seconds long. So this is Tetris. Cut to credits. Oh god, I still have a picture of that somewhere. Blow up Alex. Heroes because I just lost it. That wasn't so utterly unplanned, at least from my perspective. Like, that was kind of a meme thing, but then we got to that point. I just lost it. Oh my god. So if those of you not aware of what we're talking about, when we were doing the FF Lore one, we allowed people to name what our characters were named. And we were kind of joking about the idea of naming the heroes, naming the main characters of FF3, heroes don't need plans. You know, because FF13 and Snow. However, for some reason, and I don't remember the specifics, but it ended up being heroes don't need, and then Pants was the one who won the last one. So, there's a scene in the game where they actually say all their names in order as part of dialogue. You know, it's supposed to be like, I don't remember all their names, like, you know, Cecil, Rydia, Rosa, Young, you know, it's supposed to be a scene like that. But instead what it came out is, heroes don't need pants! No, we haven't been to Fire Island yet. I was actually just trying to think of where I could get some more rupees right now. So that would be... Ah, I think I see it right there. Hey, do you know you can jump, by the way? There's like no reason to do this. Whoa! Whoop! Pay attention, Laura. I mean, in fairness, that would have been a multi-year wait at that point. That was not a short period of time. Between when we did the Lorerun and when 3 came out, I should clarify. There we go. Oh god, I forgot about the timer. Go! I really did forget about the timer. Whatever. Excuse me. I liked parts of Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it's still reason enough that I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, there are parts of Kingdom Hearts 3 that I found aggravating. And then there are parts that I found awesome. It'll be curious to see if Remind fixes any of that. Come on. There you go. I don't think we did, Myron. I think you're right. I mean, we got a release date for it last year. But I don't think we even had a release window until last year. I could be wrong. Okay, that took me a minute, so that's a fifth of my time. Oh god, I don't have the bracelets. Can I do this without the bracelets? Never mind. So now you can lift, well, you know, these things. Which means we can also access the dungeon on Outset Isle, too. So where's the ice dungeon? Since at this point, you know, whatever. I really, really don't remember this point onwards. My memories are getting super vague. Ow. There you are. Okay. Let's see. See if I can find where Ice Isle is. Southwest, looks like. In E6. Where's my map? That's going to be a bit of a trip. Whee! 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 I mean, at this point, it's right there. That is it, right? No, that's the tower. Never mind. Hang on. This button. That's the wrong thing. Oh god, which one of these is the forest place? I haven't been giving... I don't have any bait to give out to the people in order to fill out the map, so I'm not sure what's where. Hang on. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. So that's so... Yeah, no kidding, Myron. Apparently not, Tara. Alright, where are we at? Yeah, that's the tower. Let me off! Oh yeah, no magic. Oh, that's gonna suck. I'm gonna have to drink grandma's soup at this rate. And that's gonna be horrible since it's only infinitely restorable and has 2 charges each. Grandma's so awesome. Heroes don't need a lot of things, apparently. Heroes don't need ice physics. Jeez. Ah!
Your dedication will be rewarded.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. I'm gonna pause because we're on a timer here. Who just donated? Oh, if it's Vigilant again, then he must be destroyed. It's Myron! Damn it! How could you, Myron? How could you do this to me? Why? Why? Thank you, Myron. Bow, bow, bow. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you. Where would you like that to go? Probably not, Potato. I don't know. Unless you guys really want me to cover the direct live, which I could do. I mean, I'm kind of ambivalent on the matter, as horrible as that sounds. I really don't expect anything actually interesting from the direct. Ooh. But if you guys want me to cover it live, then I could do that. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, we made it. You got it, Myron. Give me a moment. Yeah, pretty much Cyric. Iron Boots! So now we're ready for the Wind Temple and the Fire Temple. Or Earth Temple. Sorry, Earth Temple. I don't know why I was... I swear we're ready for them. Then Link was lost forever. I can barely see where I'm going. Oh yeah, no, this water is probably below freezing. Did you know water can go below freezing and not freeze? Seriously, it's kind of messed up. So we'll put that there. Is there a thing? There's a thing. Hang on. Oh yeah, by the way, on the GameCube version, you had to stop dead to turn on these, which was really just aggravating. The Nintendo Direct will happen 1 hour before my stream usually would cut off. At this point, in about 1 hour from now. I don't know how to get out of here. I've never fallen down here before. Ah. I guess I could die? I should have just died. It would have been quicker. Lich King problems. Damn it, I knew I should have just died. Okay. That's what Hushy Love was referencing earlier, by the way. If you do a 180 on the ice, you literally fall. And he's so cute. I think you could do it too if you just go in circles for a bit. Yay! We might actually need to start doing those later, depending on how our rupee count goes. Alright, tell you what, guys. For everyone who wants me to go ahead and cut off an hour early to cover, to restream, basically, the Nintendo Direct, say Kefka in chat. would also accept Kefka emotes. See, Card Thrower does not want me to do it, so... For Card Thrower's sake, guys, I'm afraid I will not be doing it. Sorry. Lowercase L, capital K, I think? Hang on. Pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, that's right, we don't actually have a Kefka emote. I forgot about that. Huh. I mean, I guess we could fix that. I don't think we have the room at the moment. What am I doing? Let's hit this really quick. I actually don't want to go to the dungeons yet. I want to be free! So what I want to do... is I want to go to Windfall. Oh my god, Myra! That's terrifying. I guess we could get rid of the me emote. That doesn't need to be there. So we can get rid of Loreman. Nobody uses that. We could probably get rid of the coin, too. Nobody uses that either. Or the website one. Replace them all with Kefkas. It's just all Kefka. Every emote is a separate Kefka emote. Yeah, I need to go grocery shopping soon myself, period. Probably after I finish this particular game, period. How would I get rid of Lore Chasm? Lore Chasm is the greatest. No, for real though, nobody uses Loreman. I'm probably gonna get rid of Loreman. Remember him? He's the super rich guy from earlier who would spend his entire fortune getting his daughter back. Oh, it's you! Little boy who promises big promises and then fails to deliver them. Too bad you couldn't save my daughter. Fortunately, not everyone in this world fails to deliver. As it turns out, my dear Mila was saved by a group of kind pirates. The pirates had a leader, Tetra, I believe she said her name was. I was most grateful. She did demand a rather hefty reward, though. Thanks to them, my fortune has vanished. We've hit rock bottom. But my little Mila is alive and home, safe where she belongs. So I can't complain. A daughter is more important than money. The chasm is from FF4, actually. It is literally the graphic for the Quake spell. Yes, and very relevant to KOTOR. Don't ask why. God dang it. No. Well, it's a meme that started up in the KOTOR Lorerun, Blue Wolf Alex. As for what it signifies, it doesn't have a lot of use. In fact, I don't see it that often either. But before I continue talking and distracting, I want to point out this guy, too. So we rescued two gentlemen's daughters. The other guy and this guy. You there, Holt! Yes, oh, you're just some wretched street urchin. Thought you were the postman. Be thankful. If you were the postman, I would have shooed you out of it before you could say boo. But say, you look rather familiar for a street urchin. Have we perhaps met someplace before? So, the very rich guy, who used to live here actually, spent his entire fortune saving his daughter. The very poor guy ended up taking over as a consequence of the rich guy. Now, this is actually kind of an amusing thing to me. It's very typical nowadays, especially, but the point is the very rich guy was actually the better human being than the very poor guy. See, the very poor guy only wanted to get his daughter back in order to get money. The very rich guy wanted his daughter back because she's his daughter. I think I would survive my deal and return to this town. I would ever be able to live in such a beautiful, opulent house. It's a dream come true. But no, it's a nightmare without him at my side. It's like a rainstorm in my heart. He was so kind to me in the Forsaken Fortress. Oh god, this side quest. So what happened, the reason this guy got so much money, she got a bunch of moblin necklaces, which are actually quite valuable, from one of the moblins who... she is in love with. He is not in love with her, to be very, very clear. I'm not going to do this side quest, because it's just kind of a time delay, but I'll just tell you right now what happens is you deliver her message to him. His message in return says, and I quote, "I want to eat you." She decides that that is, in fact, a marriage proposal. So, that's neat. We will be sparing that woman and not deliver her message. But I did want to point that out. As part of the internal continuity positive I actually already gave the game. Hey, come on, use your head. You can't stand like that. You're in my way. Can't you move? Oh, I won't do it. I'm already back to my old habits. I'm sorry. Really, I am. Welcome to you, sir. This way to the Windfalls Outdoor Shop. Chock full of fun and happy products. Including a flower, apparently. So yeah, you can plant flowers in all these little spots throughout the area. I forget what you get for it. I think it's a art piece. There are so many side quests in this game. Like, I actually legitimately think this is the Zelda with the most side stuff to do in the entire game. Or in the entire franchise, I should say. Okay. That's it, that's perfect. Now bring on the night. I don't think that's supposed to be Elvis with that move. What's the matter? Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? Well... so that's what that does. Song of Sun. I like to think that you just get so zoned out by the song, you just wait for a day. So, I actually want to share something real quick. This is actually really cute. So hang on. To do this properly, I gotta change time 2 more times. So be patient with me, please. So this dude, right? Mr. Snowman? Like, hey, what's up? You wish to speak to me, I must... You insist you do this at the reception counter. Rules are rules. Okay, talk over here then. Yes, you're the young master who purchased my sale at last. Those funds, I've been able to open my stall. But I hate to say, my poor little stall's not an instant success. In fact, it's rather deserted, I'm afraid to say. I think this tragic turn of events is due to the fact that I don't have a wide enough line of products For if I'm to be fully honest, I only have one product. To put it another way, I think my stall would do much better if I can only stock rare items that people can't get in town. Yes, that's what I need. And now I'd make lots of money, not just plenty of money. It would be like taking candy from many rich babies. No, not even that. By running a prosperous business, I can plan my part to help this town develop and become a happy place. Yes, yes, that is a proper perspective. But dear me, if only I had a young partner, a real go-getter. Hint, hintity hint. But anyways, so I'm gonna try and get in here. And he actually shoos us out, right? You can't just walk into someone's stall like that. No, indeed. It's not just proper. It isn't proper. It isn't done. And then he kicks you out. I just find that amusing. Anyways. Okay. Trying to think. I'm debating if I want to get a second bottle. What do you think, guys? Should I try to get it? Actually, how much was the second bottle? Does anyone remember? Because if it was 600, I can get it now. If it was 900, then I can't. And I actually don't remember. Was it 500? I can do 500. I can swing that. Oh, god dang it. Get whose potato? I really don't remember where the bottles are in this game. I think I already said that. It's like this pig. I cannot see where this pig is. I really would like at least a second bottle. The Bomberman? Actually, it's funny you asked that, Dream Whisperer. Welcome to the bomb shop. We're pleased to give discounts for larger orders. These are so very cheap. No one can offer you a better price than bombs. No siree. He apparently got a haircut and decided to stop overcharging. Go figure. It's because it has mail for me, Violet Silver. But that mail costs 200 rupees, and I'm not doing that. I need my rupees. Ah, the Traveling Merchant quest. Excellent. Merchant's Oath. Yeah, sure, whatever. Hopefully this will make the Gorons show up, though. Is that the thing where I have to, like, tail her throughout the whole freaking town or something like that? God, I have a vague memory of doing that and being kind of irritated by it. Let's try this. Where do I start that? Or I could just look it up. Where is she? Is that her? Yeah, that's her. We'll just kind of hang out over here. Nothing to see here. He is so cute. Shush, shush, take off, go away. Oh, of course, of course. Please forgive me for taking up your valuable time. Hello, Polka Sweater. Oh god, you're right, Pillars of Snow. Oh god, it's the tailing mission from Judgment! This is where Judgment got it from, guys, right here. God, it really is, too. What? Oh. Never mind. I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat, apparently. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I couldn't even tell that was supposed to be a cat. That's why that threw me so badly. It's like, that's it. Huh? Oh, where'd she go? There she is. How is she even seeing me? Whatever. So then she goes over there. Oh, I lost her. I lost her. Oh, she's sneaking into the place. You startled me. What do you want? My heart's racing. You scared me. Wait, are you the kind of creep who goes around at night scaring people? That's just plain mean. Who do you think you are, anyways? A night creeping rascal. An ally of justice? To Google. Ow. There we go. Let's see here. Bottles? Maybe? Hello? Hang on. Let's look this up directly. There we go. That would be hysterical, Muad'Dib. Yep, we did battle Squid somehow. You need 40 pendants for the Joy Charm. Wow. Auction. Sorry, there's just so it's listed under the windfall thing. Here we go. Here we go. I am an ally of justice. I'm not a thief. I swear I haven't stolen anything. Well, yet. Please let me go. It was just a bad impulse. That's all. It was just a bad idea. Why don't you say anything? Does this mean you're mad at me? Could you at least listen to my circumstance in my life which led up to this moment? Please, you owe me that much. Okay. I was once the richest little debutante in this town. Did you know that? Yes, I did. But one day a monstrous bird came and took me to a terrible place called Forsaken Fortress. Don't you recognize me from there? I literally helped rescue you. Anyways, my father spent every last rupee in his coffers in an attempt to get me rescued. That's right, every bit of our family fortune gone. That's when my life of poverty began. Now, every day, from morning till night, I'm busy working for an open-air shop, so as you can see, at least I'm trying to settle into my poor lifestyle. Doesn't that just tug at your heartstrings? What do you say about the tragic events of my pitiable life? To make matters worse, for some reason I still can't figure out the Slav Maggie, who was the poorest girl in town, suddenly got filthy rich. Maggie, of all people. Makes me so mad. I want to do something terrible. Grr. You understand my plight? Can you let me go? Unfortunately, no. Why not? Because I'm honest. It's true, I know I'm quibbling over nothing, but being so poor weakens a person's very soul. But it's time I quit making silly excuses for myself. Thanks to you, I didn't have to sink to the level of common thief. I'll never do anything like that again. What an amazing feeling. I've let all of my worries out of my heart. I actually feel refreshed. You got one of the best items in the entire game. Don't look at me like that. I didn't steal it. I washed up the shore, so I picked it up. Don't tease like that. It's a tiny bottle made of crystal clear glass. It's so beautiful. I wish my soul could be that beautiful. Oh, what am I saying? When you live in poverty, you can say the cheesiest things without blinking an eye. Oomph! I guess I should start going soon. My father will start worrying. Goodbye, ally of justice. So there you go. That's who he ends up marrying and having the Spirit Tracks kid. It all makes sense now. I know, right, Polka Sweater? Who knows, in about 35 minutes, we will probably not be getting news about a Switch port. God, what kind of weird world is it where I'm actually wanting more ports, and they're not giving them to me? Normally, like, for most of my gaming career, I've been kind of anti-port, more pro-remaster, or excuse me, pro-remake. You know, port I usually consider to be kind of a, you know, a derogatory term. Like, it's just a port. But god dang it! If only I could have a port. Let's see. I want to do that. Yeah, exactly, Muad'Dib. If we could get more substantially different remakes, I'm down, you know? I think it's this one? I don't think anyone answered you at all, Juju's. And they never will. Wait one moment. Whoops! Oh, the barrier skip. The glorious, glorious barrier skip. Honestly, having just gone back through and reviewed Ocarina and Twilight, I think I may have to solidify Twilight as my favorite. There's been a bunch of games that challenge that, but if I'm being honest with myself, one of the biggest reasons LTTP is so far up on the list, in addition to being a pretty tightly designed game, is because of randomizers, which the game shouldn't actually get credit for. Wind Waker, well, I mean, I've already kind of given my thoughts on that one. There he is. Now, I've only played Link Between Worlds twice. Or once, excuse me, once. So that'll be interesting to reanalyze. And, of course, Majora's Mask I've only played through, like, 3 times or something like that. Oh. 3 days left.
Thank you! Bye!
Okay, we have 3 bottles now. I feel much better. What time is it? Let's... I was actually just debating. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to one of Grandma's soups and then have 2 spare fairies. And I think that'll be my usual. See, it's funny you say that, Juju's. For me, it's actually Ocarina. As in, that's the one I usually hear as the favorite, is Ocarina. Come here. Imprisonment for all time. Whoops, that's water. I didn't mean water. Be gone, water. Nobody likes you. Imprisonment. God, it just hurts. Why are they frowning? Why are they frowning? Okay, one moment, guys. Yeah, heroes don't need water. Alright, is this the 4th? Yep, that's this one. When does this Nintendo Direct start? In 30 minutes. I'm just going to leave that open. In fact, 29 minutes, 33 seconds. It's actually got a timer up. Okay, so we got 29 minutes to do something. We got this. Could totally do an entire dungeon in that time, right? That's a definite feasibility. You know what? That's fair, Blatty. That's fair. Yes. I usually rate this Zelda as so high almost entirely on the strength of its story, Juju's. It's the only Zelda, in my opinion, that really hits the ruminations, the continuity angle properly. It actually ties up and follows through on the events of the previous game, and they matter, and there's some cool characters, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite Link. It's my second or third favorite Zelda. It's my favorite Ganondorf, you know. Like, good characterization, good story emphasis, good continuity, excellent world building, you know, very strong plot, lots of little events going on, tying characters together. There's just a lot of good stuff in the story. And that's really why Wind Waker is so high on the list for me. It's probably one of the only Zeldas that I enjoy the story more than the gameplay. Because usually it's the opposite. Ugh. Excuse me. Let's redo our items really quick. Is this? Sure. So, favorite ocean. Honestly, yeah, Subnautica was my first thought there. I like this ocean, I like Assassin's Creed 4's ocean, but Subnautica is probably my first guess on that one. So, I mentioned continuity. This is a Kokiri. Or at least, he used to be a Kokiri back when he was still alive. He's been dead for a long time now. I am Fado of the Kokiri tribe. I know I can appear to you as a child, but the eyes can oft deceive. I am a most esteemed sage. I've been praying here so that the power to repel evil would continue to be contained within the blade of the Master Sword. But I was attacked by the evil Ganondorf, and this is what happened to me. He means he was murdered. You wish to return the part of your blade, don't you? In that case, look for the one who has the same instrument I hold, and teach him the song you just played. Once you do, I'm certain the holder of the instrument will feel the blood of the sages awaken in his veins. That Wind Waker you hold was used long ago to conduct us sages when we played our songs to call upon the gods. In those days, it was always the king who conducted for us. Please tell the king I will still play, even in the next world. See you around, Fado. So, 2 points about this. First, you remember how I mentioned how sages can exist until they're awakened? This is more fuel to the fire for that particular line of thought. The second point, the fact that Fado is here instead of Soraya is actually an interesting point, because it means that that Ganondorf, or rather Ganon, was actually sealed away for at least one generation after Ocarina of Time before he managed to get out. And, in other words, enough time for the sagehood to have passed on from them to the next generation. Now, that being said, it's worth noting that if they are in fact dead, as I postulate in Ocarina of Time, then it's entirely feasible that they basically passed on their sagehood immediately. Like, at the end of Ocarina, they immediately a new set of sages was selected, and that is entirely feasible. We'll actually be meeting a Zora, who is not Ruto as well, in a little bit here. Let's go here really quick. The second point of note, I mentioned how Ganon learned from his mistakes. Yeah, so after his defeat at the end of Ocarina of Time, he bided his time, waited for the seal to break, busted out, and the very first thing he did was he killed all the sages and hunted down the Triforce pieces. Now, the Triforce pieces were absent, so he couldn't do anything about that. But with the sages dead, well, that was kind of the end of that. Now, in case you don't get it, remember, the sages are the ones who not only sealed him away, but were supposed to power up the Master Sword. Basically, in the original Ocarina of Time, there was supposed to be an element of the sages powering up the Master Sword, like that was a plot point, and actually a gameplay element as well, and that was cut content. But anyways, the point being, story-wise, the sages power up the Master Sword. So he beelined for the sages and killed them first thing when he got out. And yeah, then things started to go to hell, basically. That's a good way to describe that. Probably Dream Whisperer. The only way it would make sense if it was a single generation is if someone... Well, no, hang on, let me say that differently. Is if the king survived the events of Ocarina of Time, which there's no information on whatsoever. So who knows on that part. Or if a new king was selected basically immediately. Because the king, King Daphnes, the king in this game, is still of the royal bloodline, but, I mean, all that we know that was left at the end of Ocarina was Zelda herself, so... Something has to line up there for that to work. Thank goodness. Okay. How are you supposed to get here? You know, I'm not even sure off the top of my head. Or is that the way you're supposed to get there? In which case, never mind. The first time... Okay. Oh, this isn't where I want to be. I just recognize this place. Alright, we'll come back here. We'll come back here. I mean, I guess we could try that now? Yeah, alright, sure. Let's take a stab at it. I only need, what, 20? Link to the Past was the first time they really tried to push in a story direction. I've talked about that before. But immediately after Link to the Past was Ocarina of Time, which was designed as a deliberate prequel to LTTP. My point, Disco, being that, you know, there was already attempts at making a Zelda timeline well before this game came out. Now, this game was the first really codified attempt at saying, okay, we're going to make a cohesive story here amongst the Zelda franchise. And I would argue that there's only 3 games that really actually had a cohesive attempt at making a solid storytelling connection between each other. Which brings me to something I was reading about, which makes me very sad. I know, right? This is yet another Pit of 100 Trials, by the way. I don't remember how far down I have to go. I have to go in here. There's a Triforce piece, at least I think there is. Pretty sure. Anyways. The thing that made me sad was... And I don't know if this is true, so I can't cite any sources here, but it was the idea that they were like, you know what, we have these Zeldas kind of connected to each other, but why don't we tie every Zelda together? Like, all of them. So then they made Skyward. Now, in case you're not quite getting that, allow me to elucidate. The idea as presented, and this is basically canon, is that Demise's curse is the reason for the entire franchise. Because the Curse of Demise is why Hylia decided to reincarnate throughout the generations. It's why there's always some villain. And it's why Link is always manifested in a given era. Even in this era, where this Link has nothing to do with anything, he still happens in canon because of the Curse of Demise. So, that sucks. I don't even know what to make of that Pillars of Snow. It sounds good. Does Link always have to be male? I would say no. I don't see the need for Link to have any gender. Or, you know what I mean, as in a defined gender. But then again... I'm trying to remember the exact quote. They were talking about something before Breath of the Wild came out. About why Link was not going to be female. And it was something like they didn't want there to be a weird dynamic between Link and Zelda, or something like that. And I remember thinking, really? Whatever it was a really dumb argument. Money, money! As I've said before, I like the idea of them stretching out with the franchise, so I'm kind of whatever on it. Hang on. don't think it's that dark, especially since so few of the Zeldas and Links have actually had any kind of romantic connotations. A few have, but most of them have not. My favorite Link is the one you're looking at, Gigi's. This is without question my favorite Link. I don't even have to think about that. Basically, yes, Disco. Because, until Skyward Sword, he wasn't some destined hero or some perfect whatever. And, in addition to that, it's not just the fact that he's, you know, not the hero of destiny, as much as I don't like that trope in general, but it's also the fact that he's actually kind of, I don't know, he's very expressive. He's very emotive. He's actually probably one of the most characterized of the Links that we see. In fact, I'm not even sure there's been a Link who has been more characterized than this one. I'd have to think about that. Nope, not off the top of my head, I can't come up with anything. That's true, Rusty. You're absolutely right. He is the hero of destiny. He's just in Termina, so it's like he's not the hero of that destiny or whatever. Although I've heard a really fascinating theory about Majora's Mask that I'll share whenever we get to streaming it. It basically boiled down to the idea that someone like Link was necessary in order to restore the faith of the people of Termina. Not in a religious sense. Just the more generic concept of having faith. Of being willing to, you know, have hope. And think that things are actually worth a damn, you know? It's a cool concept, and I have to agree, it's kind of a thing that really characterizes that Link. Given all the crap he went through. Also, could someone go stab Disco? Just really quick for me. Just a light stabbing. Excellent, Cyrix. No, Permeus, no! Not the Frostborn stab. How many layers do I have to go down? Does anyone remember? This is one of the things I dislike about that. Even though each level only takes like a few seconds, like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, these always feel like they take forever every time I do these. I really don't remember. This might qualify as a negative, considering I'm pretty sure this is mandatory. Oh, yeah. Hello, game. $30 for the Triforce, that's what I wanted to know. Okay, this is pretty more difficult than it should be. Get off me! Get off me! Get off me! I suppose that's true, Permeus. So we're probably about to get to 20 then. Yeah, this is probably level 20 right here. 10 more, guys. You know what? I'm actually just going to go ahead and chop off the local recording. I will debate in a minute if this deserves a negative, since this is mandatory.